Yeah, I feel you, okay? Okay, I've been there. So I made money, but also lost everything before. So how many lost everything before? I'm just kidding, you don't have to hold your hand. It's not a good place to be, but there's the time and place for everything, you know? Sometimes you have to be out in the desert before you get to the promised land, you know what I'm talking about? So, but I did learn from that, and it was very fortunate for me. After my furniture business, I lost everything. I got into the auction business, and when I was networking, somebody introduced me to Kim. So she was at this hotel, and she's like, this is a life-changing opportunity. I'm like, I've never seen a business change anybody's life, right? I'm like, how much can you make, right? So I did not actually join that business at the time. It was only a few months later, the person who referred me to Kim, I heard he's making a lot of money. I say, wait, did I not hear something? So then I went back and tried to understand it and say, hey, you know what? This business model, like just pure business model, it absolutely can work. So that's why I got into the industry, and having worked with Kim for 20 years. And you know, to be honest, I was very slow. Okay, so if you're struggling, don't worry. I've been there. I think I was very slow for the first 2.5 years. Okay, now, so I want, and let me tell it this way, because
To you, not me. Okay, phone, vibrate, or silence.
unknown. Okay, unknown. So what are those scams? Okay. Okay, so let me tell you this way, because in the first opportunity where I met Kim 20 years ago, you know, we had meeting after meeting after meeting. She did the training. I just didn't get it. I keep like, you know, just selling the product, but none of my people would do the business, okay? And then 2.5 years later, after we left, I learned that, you know, Kim in 2.5 years had built 240,000 people, 195 countries. So there's no rhyme or reason, but don't think about it logical, because it's not. So I was shocked. I mean, but I was also fortunate to have witnessed it, okay? So the next opportunity, I was like, I gotta go harder, right? So that's why I started making a little bit of money. And then in our last platform, we did a big number, and we blessed a lot of people. And of course, you know, when you bless other people, you bless yourself. You know, for me, I was very fortunate to have completely changed my life, traveled to 40 plus countries, but not one time, over and over and over again. In business class, you know, when you get in the plane, you don't turn right, you turn left. Okay. All right? So, but you know, it really gave me a perspective, because a lot of times when I look back, if you ask me, wow, when I was in the furniture business, it's like 30 years ago. So, yeah, would I be someday traveling the world and doing this? I'll be like, no way. It's not me. It's like, does that thing really exist? But I'm here to tell you the grass is greener on the other side, okay? All right, so thank you, okay? All right, back to you.
Really, in this industry, you have no idea whose lives you're gonna touch. I still remember, it's like shocked me. We worked together for 20 years. And, you know, I grew up with 3 other sisters. My parents had 4 girls. And I'm blessed in this platform, I have many, many brothers, and Samson's one of them. And so, you know, I mean, I fast forward all the years that we've known each other, worked with each other. You know, if I were to go back 20 years ago when I first met with him, had he not gotten involved, you probably have less than 50, I mean, you probably have like $50 million less in your bank. Had he not worked with this. Now, I mean, again, there's no money guaranteed in any form, shape, or way. But imagine the power of witnessing someone's life changed with all the zeros in the bank account that gone through, right? So hopefully this time around, you kept your money, this time you keep a lot more.
I tried to not buy too many cars.
He had 4 Porsches at one point. I'm like, Samson, you only got one of you. Why do you need 4 Porsches, you know? So, you want fast cars? Go for him, okay? No, not go for him. Go ride with him. Huge difference, okay. All right. He's happily married with several kids. So, anyways. Well, you know, it's really, in this platform, you really have no idea whose lives you're going to touch. And obviously, the person that you got to change, you got to touch is yourself first. You got to be the embodiment of the change you want the world to see. And so, for those who don't know me, my name is Kim. This is my 31 or 32 years in this space. in this space of network marketing, direct selling, e-commerce, whatever you want to call it. To me, it is the best self-development course in life, but it's got a comp plan attached to it. So, and I remember 31 years ago when I first got into the industry, people oftentimes, I couldn't understand it. I remember before, when I got rejections and people laughed at me, people rejected me, people do all kinds of talk about me. And I couldn't understand why. Because they look at this industry with people that are hopeless, helpless, and no education. And yet, I thought, you know what, I had a good career before I was fired. I was a VP of a supplement company. I had a college education. I went to UCLA, I went to UC Irvine, and I went to very good schools in Southern California. And I couldn't understand why people would laugh at me when I got involved in this space. And I remember after, the first year of ridicule, people laughing at me. I said, well, is there something I could look at from a publication or from the media, like where people would be deemed as more socially accepted media, that they will say they will endorse it, right? So there was a book, this is like mid 30 years ago, a book called Wave 2 or Wave 4, Wave 4 I think it was called. It's written by, I think, Richard Pohl. And in that book, he says there is going to be a new wave of professionals that will be joining this industry. And when I read that statement, this is like 30 years ago, I said, you know what, that is it. We are that new wave, and we're going to build the new wave. Now, fast forward that, 30 years later, who would have thought that little seed that was planted, that we are the one, we were the one to create, the author can write about the new wave that's coming, but who's gonna do it? I mean, have you ever thought about it? Like the author, I remember looking back and said, there's a new wave of professionals, people from all walks of life, lawyers, doctors, and all different walks of life that will be joining this platform. And I couldn't understand. I mean, at that time, all I knew was I was one of them, and yet most people couldn't see and couldn't understand. And so I said, that's it. I want to be part of that new wave. And you know what? Fast forward 30 years later, we are the new wave. We are the wave setter. We are the trendsetter. We are the change maker. And that's what happened. Look at all of you in this room. Give yourself a big round of applause for being here. Last night we were having dinner with about, I think there was 70 of us. Last time we were at the Capitol Grill here. And, Samson and a few of our friends were talking. So I couldn't be more proud with the people that are in 3. If you really learn about the profession, their background, who they are, and there's something that there's a frequency, there's an energetic thing that vibrates with them, that they felt called to be a part of this, especially in the times we're living in right now. And this time of change. And Samson and I today were talking. There's a complete total shift in consciousness. People, humanity, we want it more. And now we probably have like 9 countries sitting in this room right here. It's no longer, these lockdown, this setback no longer can bound us. That we are now coming together. The whole world, it seemed like it's all melting into as one, as it should be. And so me, 31 years in this space, I went from a corporate executive, being downsized, being laid off, to coming into this industry. In the beginning, in this industry, I just want to I want to make money. I refused to be poor. I refused to ever be fired again. I said, you know what? I went to college education. I have all my years of college, graduated, worked in corporate America for 10 years. I said, I refuse ever to being told that I'm out of a job. So I got involved in this industry in the beginning because of money. Now, once I make the money, a lot of people say, well, before you got in the industry, people would say, we'll get you to stimulate your dream. What is it you want? When you have all the money in the world, what would you want to do? In that beginning, I would say, I want to travel the world. I want to be a multimillionaire. I want to have homes. I want to have bling blings. I want to have this and that. Fast forward 31 years later, when I'm blessed with the abundance in materialism, once you get all that stuff, you realize that none of that stuff gives you that real fulfillment in your heart. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to travel first class. It's nice to go shopping and say, you know what, don't buy. Everything else I buy. It's really
And it has happened. Yes, I've seen it before.
Sometimes my friends would call me and say, Kim, where are you? I said, I'm still at store one. So, it's good to have that as an experience. But what really gives me meaning and fulfillment is, after money issue out of the way, what did I choose to do? I chose to come back to a space that I was so blessed with. And because once you truly understand and look beyond the labeling, look beyond most people's mental construct of what this industry is, you can't as a human being, you can help but fall in love with the essence of one another. The true nature of who we truly are, the connection, the bonding. So in a big nutshell, that's what I've been through in this industry. And it's really amazing. I want to bring it back to why 3. Like Samson had mentioned in the previous company, it started in my kitchen table. There was 5 of us in my kitchen table. And we had a dream back then. This is like in 2009? 2009, September 2009. There's 5 of us in my kitchen table, and I live in Southern California at that time. And with 5 of us, I said, you know what? I told them, I said, listen, guys, we are going to build an international business. And they all looked at me, they go, that's awesome. How many countries are we in? I said, we are in Diamond Bar. That was it, okay? So, and who would have known? Fast forward at 14 years with that company, we built to 200 countries. How many countries, Samson?
Yeah, 150.
150 countries and territories.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Some of the countries it could be on one day, I'll be on the phone, I'll be talking to different continents. People from different continents. It's like, wow, and we built a company that did $14 billion in sales with a B. And so many lives, like Samson mentioned, many lives were changed, and ours as well. And so, and I get to live one of my dreams. I remember 31 years ago when I first got into this space, and after many people ridiculed me and laughed at me, and then I called my sponsor, I said, I think I want to cancel. I said, this is not for me. And I said, because I'm an accountant, I'm a bean counter, I really don't know how to market, I don't know how to sell. And my sponsor says, Kim, go to a meeting, just go to a training. If after the training that you still feel like this is not for you, I will help you process for a refund. I said, well, that's fair enough. So I actually went to a training on a Saturday, and I went to a room like maybe just this section. And then there was an older gentleman. So, and now I gotta be careful what I call old, okay? So, that gentleman is in his 60s, and I'll be 60 in a few months. So, so the gentleman's talking so ever so slowly, like, you can do this, and you do this. And I'm like, if that man can do it, so can I. And so I said, I just went to my sponsor, I said, answer me one question. Can people really make money here? And he says, absolutely. He goes, I'm making money, and he had a house in Beverly Hills. I said, okay, that's fair enough. And I said, what's the most you can make in this industry? And back at that time, it was an iconic figure. Many of you know him. He's passed on, but he left a legacy. It was a gentleman that made, Dexter Yeager make over $1 million a month. And so he goes, my sponsor told me at that time, said, you know what? The top money earner in this industry makes about $1 million a month. I go, $1 million a month times 12. Ooh, that's 12 million a year. And I said, that's pretty cool, And so, who would have known? Now keep in mind, 31 years ago, I was broke. I got laid off. But it planted a seed in my head that it is possible, $1 million a month. And I could tell you in this journey, I have the blessing to taste what it feels like to make that a month. Not only one, some people were like a one-time Hall of Famer, but when you get to do it, make it month after month after month, year after year. That is a triumph. That is something to be really celebrated. So I tasted what it feels like to make that kind of money. And so having been in this industry, and after all that we've been through, and then now I want to bring back to why 3. Why did we choose, not only me, a group of us chose to do this. It's because we, Samson, Harris, Patrick, a few of our friends, they make millions in this space. This man, if we didn't work together, $50 million less in his bank account, but I'm so glad it's got more than that. But the point is this, is that once you get the money issue out of the way, there's a little void in me. I begin to, do my own self-journey seeking, and I actually said, LA was too full of material stuff and full of people. I actually escaped out of LA, and I went to a little town called Sedona, Arizona, okay? We have all the Sedonian here. Can we have all the Sedonians stand up? All the people from Sedonia. Sedona, give them a round of applause. All right, thank you guys for being here. So I moved to Sedona. I was doing my own, search, my own seeking. I said, you know what? There's gotta be more to life than money. Because I realized that you can't take any of it with you. I remember when I first got into Sedona, I want to get out of the noise. And so I said, what is one thing I could do that I don't have to deal with people? And that would be houses. So then I began to buy houses and homes and all this. I have more home than I can ever lived in. And so, but it was good. Like, there's no dealing with emotion. It's a home. Today, I feel like, this home has this kind of vibe. I'm going to be here. Next day, this home has this vibe. I'm going to live there. So, the point I was trying to make is I was playing with all that. Then what took place? The pandemic hit 4 years ago. And I went from, in the beginning, being scared to being really, and then I went into a deep dive, seeking truth. What is really happening? What is happening? Why is this happening not only in one country? Why is it happening all over the world? And I couldn't understand. When I began to deep dive into different rabbit holes, I got really upset. And then I'm like, but what can I do? I'm just one person. And I remember one day I was hiking on my land. And when I was hiking, and I heard this, I don't know, calling voice, vision, whatever. And it just said, you know what? There's more of you out there. That if we wanted to shift, it had to start with us. So, and it says, think about how you were blessed. Think about, what your whole life, what you accumulated, where you are in life. How did you get to where you are? What were your giftings? What were some of your giftings? What were your gifts? And because of that, I said, you know what? I've been blessed in this industry. So at that time, I chose to come back out and work. But I'm like, okay, now we'll come back out and work. I want a new opportunity. I want something brand new, something different. And also witnessing what took place the last couple of years with the different narratives. I want something that will help mitigate some of the damage that took place the last couple of years. So I was praying for a line of product. So then that hike on my land the next day, the next same night, I went to sleep. And the next morning, I woke up with a dream. And that dream was to call Samson. And I said, Samson, I had this incredible dream. I said, I felt called to do something. But I said, you know me, I don't know. I'm pretty much stepped back in my little sanctuary. And I don't come out anymore. But I said, I want to find a CEO. I want to find a team of people that have their value, their vision are in alignment with ours. We wanted to find something to be the beacon of light. We, in this industry, when it's done right, it's beautiful. So I told them in my dream, I said, in my dream, I was asked, to contact a couple in San Diego, then they might be able to lead us to the right people to form a company. And I said, Samson's go, okay, I don't know, let me think. I said, I'm coming back to LA, line it up, and let's meet. And this is how the whole thing happened. And then a couple in San Diego, there's Lance and Tracy. They go, well, in this whole space, I can only think of one person, and that's Daniel Piku. I said, who? I said, I don't know who Daniel Piku is, but I said, well, let's hook up, let's get connected. And they go, well, there's a challenge. He's the CEO of another company. I said, so? And I said, well, it's a calling. Let's go to work, And so, long story short, things, happen, and here we have 3. So that's how 3 came about. So I can tell you this. It's not one person. There's a group of, behind me, there's 40 people that have made millions in this space. We all decided to resign, to walk away from a 7-digit a year, to start from scratch, to do it right in 3. And some of the 40 people in this room, can I have all the people the first 40 people that resigned from the previous platform to come here from scratch to do 3? Can you stand up, please? All the people that resigned, 头几十位 resigned. They resigned from their $1 million earnings to come here to do this. Thank you, please be seated. So, it's when I decided to do that, and I woke up one morning after we were looking at this. I said, you know what? Okay, it's coming close. Then I called my lawyer, which many of you know, and he's spirits with us, Mike McCormick. I said, Mike, I need to resign. And Mike, like, bless his soul, he says, Kim, let's do it. And afterwards, he told me, Kim, let me tell you something. 99.99% people in this space, in and outside of this space, will not walk away from the kind of money that we're making. And so we did. And so can you give Samson a big round of applause? He's one of them too. Now, building something when you were 40 or 30 something is one thing, but starting something out when you're in your late 50s, is a whole different ballgame. But I also believe, our nowadays 50s and 60s is maybe back in those years, 30s and 40s. Because, look at, who would have thought? How old are you? Samson's birthday is coming up, by the way.
Same birthday as Daniel Piku.
They're on the same day. Next Tuesday, he will be 55 years old. So, happy birthday to you.
All the people born on this. Thank you.
So I tell you all that to say that, to start something, we all could have chose to live a very comfortable life, play all day long, whatever, and for me it's be nothing, or do something and be something. And so we chose the latter ones, and that's why we're here. It hasn't been an easy journey, but it's been an extremely rewarding journey the last 18 months to be where we are here today. So I want to welcome you, those of you that are new here with us. And so today is really for you. The breakout sessions for you. I didn't mean to take such a long background, but I hope that, does it put three into better context for you guys about this opportunity? All right, so let's do this. This today is for you. I do have something I want to talk about here today, but before that, I really want to hear from you. Like, if there's anybody that wanted to share, what should we do? Should we ask questions or have them share? Maybe questions or share?
Have them
share.
Have them ask questions.
Oh, ask questions? Okay. All right. Okay. Why don't you lead that, Samson?
Well, because how often did you get to ask from somebody who made 100 million, right? Right? So don't ever say that, I've never met that person, or ask them questions. This is your chance.
All right.
Okay, everything is good except all the medical problem. If you want to, all the science, if you want science, you're in the wrong breakout. Anyway.
Yeah, product is Dr. Dan. Okay, so anybody have any question that for me, Samson, and we actually have 4-star, 5 stars, and 6 stars in the room that we're here to answer your questions. So we need some younger muscles to help us run mics. Okay, so there's a lady
John.
Back there. Oh, Patrick will do that. Okay.
Patrick and John.
Okay, we
John.
have two. All right.
Patrick.
And then John get one.
Patrick.
Okay. So give Patrick from Hong Kong a big round of applause. Yo, John. Oh, John from LA, give a big round of applause. All right. So the lady back there has a question. Patrick, back there. That's her. I saw her hand raised up first. Thank you. We're going to get our workout here today.
Thank you so much. Our gratitude can't be expressed in words, so we are so grateful. But here's what I want to ask you. As somebody's new building, and we talk to our friends, and they're like, meh. We talk to our family, they're like, okay. But how do you talk to the people that are in business, who see this as a business opportunity, and how do you approach them so that they are like, tell me more about this?
That's a great question. Actually, who should we pick? We have 4 or 5 stars in the room. Should we have them answer this question, Samson?
Oh, I think that's a great idea. Or even, you know what? Because we do I know there's quite a few leaders who are really pushing it. We have a combination, huh?
Yeah,
What
let's
do you
do
think?
that. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So do you want to pick somebody, or do you want to pick somebody?
You.
Well, last year I was on a crazy road tour, and in Des Moines, or was it St. Louis, or was it somewhere else? It was in Des Moines. I got a chance to talk to this young lady, and at the time she's so intense, text. But I would love for her to maybe answer that question, because she's really in the trenches. Maybe can we have maybe Lisa Holubowski?
Come on up. Lisa, come on up.
Lisa, come on. All right.
Woo! And Lisa, by the way, is a 4-star director. Give it a round. Is it 4-star? 4-star, right? You know what? You're close. So
Come on.
You just gotta be 4-star now, okay?
Sure, or you want? should we
I
get
was just
that?
trying, yeah. Anywhere you want.
Anyway,
Anywhere you're comfortable.
yeah.
So, really, I say one question. I ask one question. And I say, I've recently partnered with a ground floor proactive health and wellness company, launched in 15 countries on day one, with 6 unmatched, life-changing products. Are you open to taking a look?
Okay, say it again. Slowly say it again.
One more time, Lisa.
Okay. I have recently partnered with a ground floor proactive health and wellness company, launched in 15 countries on day one, with 6 unmatched, life-changing products. Are you open to taking a look? Would
Yeah.
anyone in here say no?
Now, Lisa, also let's go a little step further. Thank you for sharing that. And also, now, what do you do? Because I know you are so. Come on up here. I don't want to. Come on.
Yeah,
up.
yeah, come on
Come
up.
on. Yeah, it's kind of funny. You are taller than me. I'm talking like that. All right. So, Lisa, like I'm sure you got. Have you gotten rejection?
Absolutely.
Have you gotten people laughed at you?
Yes.
Look at her. Yes. Okay. So how, like the lady saying, like the people go, yeah, saying no to her. How would you handle that? And what would your self reflection be? And how would you? And what is one thing that helps you carry you forward? So one, self internal dialogue. Second, what would you do? What is it that carry you forward? And how would you handle when the people go, yeah?
So first of all, once you really own what this is, you have to own it first. And whatever that is it could be owning it for the business, owning it for the products, whatever it is for you that makes you feel comfortable. It's owning it first. And then really knowing your why, but not just knowing your why, knowing how to live your why. So when we say we talk the talk, we have to walk the walk. So it's being able to take the actions to own your why and live it out through actions, not just words. That's the biggest thing, I think, that I feel like a lot of people are able to talk about it, but they aren't able to do the actions to live it. And so that's like a self thing, once you do that. And then it's with talking to someone and interacting with someone, it's all we're looking for is someone to be open to taking a look. And open to taking a look can mean a lot of different things, but you're creating curiosity within that person you're talking to get them to be open. And that's a lot of times a puzzle, but you put the pieces together and that can come with a lot of different things, with following up, reaching out, using all the tools that we have I call drip. And then just meeting the person where they're at. That's really big. And that is a lot of times harder with someone you know than you don't know, but even the people you know, like those, it's easier with the people you don't know. You think it's gonna be easier with the people you know, but once you're in this business for a while, you see that the people you know are the harder people because you have an attachment to them. And so you want it for them, so a lot of times more than they want it than they see it. So, but that can still be fun, or kind of the puzzle to figure out, getting them to, when Kim talks about it being such like a self-growth, that's one of the things I love about it, is to helping someone figure out how to just get themselves to be open. A lot of people think they're open, but they're not. Mm-hmm. And helping them figure out how to become open. Because if you asked anyone the question, do you want to be open? No one would say no, right? But a lot of people have a hard time, and I call that blockages. That's what I use. That's the word I use. A lot of people have blockages that they have to get past to get to a place to be open.
Awesome. Give her a big round of applause. Now, Lisa, what did you do for a living before 3?
My college degree, I have a bachelor's degree in nursing. And then I stayed home with my 4 kids for 16 years. And about 2.5 years ago, I opened up my own LLC for a medical device. And I was selling medical devices for 13 different distributors until I was introduced to 3.
And how old are your kids? Four
I have a boy, Jack, who's 19, 2 girls, Molly, 17, Annie, 15, and Luke is 12.
Wow.
And Lisa, this is your first time doing network marketing, true or not true?
First time.
Very first time. Lisa builds 2 legs and become a 3-star elite. Taking care of 4 kids. Incredible, Lisa. I remember the first time I met her. What, that was in Dallas or what? No, St. Louis. It was cold. And then we were staying in the hotel, she wasn't. Her husband had the car on outside and then waiting for her to come out. And she was hanging with us. And I said, like, Lisa, I think your husband's waiting. Oh, he can wait. She kept talking to us. I think he ended up waiting for 2 hours outside, right? 2 hours and ice cold with his thing on. So anyway, I am so glad the journey that Lisa went on to be who she is. So please, give her a big round of applause. Thank you so much. So I hope I answered your question. And I mean, not me. So, I mean, a lot of times, I bet you, what's your name, ma'am? Margie. Margie, your question, I guarantee you, if everybody would ask that, you are not alone. Many years ago, the first self-help book I read was called I Am Okay and You Are Okay. Yeah, that was a great book. That was the one that really got me through some of my blockages, right? You are okay, I'm okay. So, when you realize, when you talk to people, whatever you're going through, we all went through it. Some people are say nice no. Some people are nasty no's, right? Whatever, it doesn't matter. You just gotta, I think she nailed it. You gotta own it. You gotta own what you're doing. And you gotta live your why. When I was on this journey, all the people that I went to UCLA with UC Irvine, people that work with me. I used to work at Northrop Grumman. How many of you heard about Northrop Grumman? Aerospace company. I was a senior accountant. When we were merging with, there's a merger with Northrop Grumman. We were merging with Grumman. I was part of the merger and acquisition team. Okay, so I thought it was a hot, doing a merger and acquisition, but whatever, accounting wise, But who would have known all the people? Guess how many people from Northrop Grumman that joined me? None. That's okay. Maybe they're still working there. Or maybe no more. I don't know. Okay. So, guess how many people that went to UCLA with me joined me? None. How many people from UC Irvine that I went to school with joined me? None. It doesn't matter. It didn't stop me from building what I went out to build, right? When you own it, when you really sometimes say, I really resonate with this. Yep, I'm gonna do 3. I'm gonna do this. And then when they get rejection and challenges, go, well, this thing, this thing of mine is really not for me. This thing, my friend don't respect this thing. I'm like, look at the way you talk. I wouldn't even respect you. You wouldn't even call your business. You call it a thing. Why couldn't you go, this is my business? One of my neighbors, old neighbor now, and one time he saw me pulling the trash out. He goes, hey, Kim, can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah. How's the thing you're doing? How's the thing? I said, what thing? That thing? I said, no, I don't. What thing? That thing. I looked at her. I said, what thing does your husband do for a living? What thing? I said, what thing do you do every day? How do you make a mortgage payment? What thing is that? I said, do you have a problem calling my business a business? By the way, my house is all paid for. And you? own it and you gotta live it. It's okay. I mean, there's time and space for everybody, you know, just, we all go through it. Okay, next question. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Patrick, so now we'll pick, the next one will be you, John, okay, on that side, okay? Yes, the lady.
Hi, I came into the company in March through a very trusted friend. I'm very glad to be here. I love these products, they're fantastic. I have, this is my third, I'd say my third network building company. I'm trying to be very strategic about who I bring in as a business partner for a lot of reasons. A few people I've reached out to that would be fantastic at this, that are fun, they're outgoing, they're athletic, they're just alive, they're alive. They take a look, they come back and they say, these products look amazing. I want to try the products, but I'm not going to do the business. I don't feel there's a solid background in this business. I've been looking up these people and I'm finding this and I'm finding that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure you've heard this 1,000 million times. So for me to go out and own this more than I do, I would like a little more background on that, on how you put your team together and where people came from, I guess.
Okay. All right, that's fair enough.
If that's possible.
Yes,
Okay.
as transparent as possibly can. No,
Thank you.
It's transparency is it's our thing. So anyway, Samson, would you take a step first?
Okay. Well, you heard the 20 years history already, in a way. But I think, first of all, when you're big, people go after you. You know that, right? So, and it's not only other leaders, but other companies, right? And there are organizations out there who's trying to make a name for themselves. So, a lot of times, what you see on the internet is just the internet. People will say whatever, okay? Like, and the other thing is, in this industry, it is business. So there's a lot of things that happen in business, but there's always two sides or more than two sides. I'm trying to just say it nicely, right? Because...
Let it out, brother.
No, because, we lived it. I know what things happen. And, and so we built it very big around the world. The people that that are here from all over, North America, Canada, throughout Asia, they really built a substantial business. And the thing is, at the end of the day, for example, your reputation is very important, right? So, and that's one of the reasons why we needed to start a new company. But also your reputation, you know somebody by the people that are around them. Does that make sense? Right? So like when I met Daniel, and I met his wife, I said, okay, that says a lot about him, who he is, right? When I met a lot of staff, their family, and then other leaders that came over from the other company, and we just talk, and a lot of times, you don't know the truth until you sit down and really talk to them and feel them and ask them the question and get to know them. That's when you know you have a solid business, because at the end of the day, actually it's very interesting. People are attracted not to information, they're attracted to people. As a matter of fact, what was I watching? I forgot who was I watching this morning on Instagram, just flashed by. I think it was, the guy in NVIDIA, right? Jensen Huang, right? You know what he said? He said he's talked to a lot of VC. No VC, what they invest in? They don't invest in any business plan. They invest in people. That's right. That's who they invest in. And we have some of the most amazing people in the business from all over. I mean, I don't want to, for example, Harris in Hong Kong, when we were on previous platform, that company outdid all the other MLM companies in Hong Kong. And Harris was the #1 earner in the industry in Hong Kong. So he's here today, is it? And there he is. And we have so many other friends who really, built it from nothing. Like, for example, my background, look, I built it one person at a time. That's how I built my business. I'm lucky over the years. Now I have some people who are close to me that still want to work with me, and I'm very fortunate and very blessed. But here you have some of the best leaders in the industry. And I think a lot of times you can also tell I remember last year when we first started the convention in May, a lot of people came actually just to look to see if they wanted to do it or not, right? Because we were just launching. And at the end, I think the most common feedback I got was they felt very full. They got what they were looking for. And what they were looking for is not only a platform, not only the science, but the right group of people to work with. Because for me, at the end of the day, and your question is very valid, but until you really meet the people, you don't know. And that's why in this business, you should always leverage, always work with your uplines, your leaders, because somebody new, they don't know, they haven't tried the product yet, they haven't made money yet, they don't know how real it is. But the people are real. So that's where I would start with that, And of course, you can use feel, felt, found, right? I know how you feel, I felt the same way, and you can reveal to them what you have found. There's so many questions out there, there's no way for us to answer all of them in a few minutes. But I would say that, first, as a person, don't forget your own credibility. I mean, you just heard Lisa's background. She has a very strong background, and it comes from a family of doctors. Why would she do it, right? I mean, look at many of the scientific advisory board. They are very, very well-known physicians. Mayo, Johns Hopkins, Stanford, Yale, etc. And even award-winning scientists. Why would they put their name on there? I just got back from Indonesia. It's funny. A lot of them are actually in the high society. So they were asking me, I don't know how to talk to my friends who are maybe more of a working class, right? And like a 9-to-5er. They say, they don't know if they can do it or not. I say, look, if you tell them, if you want to do something, make something of yourself and change your situation, make money with the rich people. There's a reason. So, there's a lot of, in terms of 3, I believe we really have one of the strongest leadership in the industry. We're just beginning. We're just paving the way. We are as real, on stage as off stage. So for those of you who have sat with us face to face, okay?
Yeah.
So I hope that helps.
Ma'am, what's your name?
Janet?
Janet? Can I get you your chair?
Chair.
I've been driving for 10 hours yesterday, so I want to sit down. Is it okay if I sit here? All right, thank you so much. I have a saying in those people that work with me, they would say that, back in the old days, I used to teach Excel, the spreadsheet Excel. And there's one terminology in Excel, I love it. It's called WYSIWYG. And you know what WYSIWYG is? Some of the older people that we know what WYSIWYG is. WYSIWYG stands for what you see is what you get. Okay? WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. And so that's one thing that I really love about Excel. I used to teach Excel at the Federal Reserve back in LA. And so that was my side gig. But anyway, so coming back to here. It's a motto I live by. What you see is what you get. And sometimes, and that's a very pertinent question. I want to bring that topic as a discussion because these are things that you will encounter. Not in particular for you to answer whoever that had gave you that challenge, but I think in general that will give you lay a pretty good groundwork for us to work this business. Okay, so oftentimes people say things. We have to consider the source. So we have to think about why they say all those. Everybody has say things, maybe we don't know what's behind that rejection or that statement. It could be because maybe they wanted you to do their business. We don't know, right? So, people will say things based on their own film on the lens. And how they form that film, it could be their own personal intention, their own personal agenda. It could also be their own personal experience, or perhaps from hearsay from what other people say about it. So we can't possibly entertain what triggered all that. But I could share with you what this is about, how this came about. Now, the reason why I went in the beginning to talk to you about why 3, why we all came to do this, is this. And the other thing that Samson talked about, if people say, well, they don't feel this is solid. Now, I'm older now, so I'm not gonna get triggered. And so let's think about what is solid. The definition of solid. So solid. Let's think about this. Which company you can go around in the supplement world? What supplement company you see that they are all their products are listed in the PDR? Number one. Number two, what company you know of that has a scientific advisory board like we do? Unpaid. Unpaid. And what company do you know of that chose to start from brand new? Everybody, we all, I pay for my own founder pack. We all pay. What company you know of that have got documented multi-millionaires, self-made, in the trenches, that are joining and a part of this company? Solidity? So rock solid. People are not just saying, oh, I take the stage, I'm a big shot. No, we are in the trenches. I will challenge anybody who has made $100 million in this space that will start going to home meetings, going to roadshow, one-on-one, training. After training, pay the bill. I will challenge you. You will not. Most of the people that made the money, they're like, I hunt for whales. You know what hunt for whale means? Once a year, I recruit one or two people, go to work. That's how they make the money. That's not us. We are in the trenches. If that is not solid for them, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, now, Daniel Piku, I couldn't be more proud to have Daniel to be leading at the helm for who he is. He might not have a whole lot of experience in this space, but that man has virtue. That man has vision, to take a group of people to start something brand new. It's unmatched. We couldn't pick a better CEO to lead us. Absolutely, far none. You have Daniel Pico, Troy, Dr. Dan, all these people working tirelessly behind the scene from a corporate level. People in the trenches, leadership. We have Global Monday opportunity calls, Tuesday empowerment calls, Wednesday wellness calls. All these people are pro bono. Nobody get paid a dime. And yet all the testimonials, they volunteer. They say, it's such an honor to be on this platform. Rock solid. And these people are all from different groups, cross-cultural, cross-group. You show me one company right now as we speak in our space that has a culture that we do, that has a servitude, that are here to serve. I guarantee you none, bar none. So if this does not suit them, I really wish them the best of luck. Truly.
Why don't we give a big hand for all the people that contribute and serve on this room? Everybody who served on this room, international Zoom. Thank you so much.
Testimonial. Give
Thank you
yourself
so
a round
much.
of applause. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think the truest testament of who we are is not what people say. It's you, we all, there's something that people can say whatever they want. But we all are born with this beautiful thing called the heart. There's the most powerful brain. When you hear from people, you will connect to that vibration. And when you soak it, when you are brave enough to open that and let it in, and no one can take that away from you. So as you go out there and share with other people, they can say whatever it is they want to say. They say, when you are open to hear my side, let's have a conversation. There's no need to fight. Say, when you're open to have a conversation, I will tell you how solid we are. It's really interesting for me to say that, for people to say that we are not that solid. Maybe they haven't seen an international platform. I don't know. I mean, where do you go that you got a company with 10 countries in the room? All pay for their own expenses to come here. So I'm not attacking your friend, please don't. But I'm just saying, I'm just sharing that which is out there. It's not, Janet, I bet you there are many people that as you continue to build this business, you will encounter that as well. And I don't want to the thing is, My entire career, I never focus on how to target that one response or one not too positive response. But I think it's much better to examine in the bigger picture of who we are and why we do what we do. And so when you see us, that's, and you know what, let's just say that if for whatever reason they read something that they don't like Samson or they don't like me, well, thank goodness, Kim and Samson don't own the company. I don't even own a share of this company. I am an independent distributor of this company. They didn't like Daniel, then I don't know what else to say, okay? But we love Daniel. So, do you know what I'm saying? So, look, we are all independent representative of this company. And so, I hope that, does it answer your question, Janet? Yes. Yeah, okay. So, can we give Janet a big round of applause? Yes. Oh, that's like, okay. It's Keith. John. John. Let Holly. Give Holly the a big round of applause.
So that actually happened with Katie that's right here. And I told her it's a hit job on the internet. I go, you're gonna find good, bad, false, and people go after us. I go, we have a good thing going on. So one of the best things that Lisa did was she got Katie on the phone with me. So tap into your upline and then let them know, I really want you to meet my business partners. Once you talk with them, then you'll have a bigger perspective of what this business is and why I'm involved. Would you be open to getting on a Zoom? Like, that's number one. Get them on with someone else, because it's easier for me to talk to Katie about this than Lisa to talk to Katie about this. Because Katie had no attachment to me. I had no attachment to Katie. I have that belief with what we're building, everything they talked about, Lisa talked about. So when I'm talking to Katie, she can feel it oozing out of me, and she doesn't know me. Lisa edified me, which is important, so she knew who she was getting on to talk with. Okay, so use your upline. Get them on a Zoom.
Excellent, thank you, Holly. All right.
People you're working with are they become way more open when they're talking to someone that they don't have an attachment to. When it's not their warm connection, that's when they actually listen.
Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Holly. All right. Anybody on this side want to have a question? So that John can run around? Anybody? Okay. Going once, going twice. Okay, now this side. Anybody have any question? Yes, lady over here, John. Okay.
Christopher's in the race.
Okay, I had a unique question, and I thought it was a legitimate question. Because we are so new, and these products are so amazing, what is the probability of the product growing so fast that they can't make it fast enough? Like, what can the product, am I saying that right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The supply and demand, that it can grow so fast that it can't keep up with the demand. Thank you, that's the right way to ask that. So there's the
Troy
question.
Byer, we got a good issue for you. Yes, thank you.
Because it is plant-based,
Yes.
It's, coming from a certain sourcing.
Absolutely.
What is that probability? Obviously, it's a legitimate question. I thought that was interesting, so.
Yes.
Anyway.
What's your name?
Susan DeLong.
Susan. Thank you, Susan. Well, that's a great question. I kind of feel good. It's okay if I sit down? Yeah. Okay, so I don't know, my knee, I need to revive. That's a great question. I mean, at this pace where part of the thing that we're doing, like, I'm really proud of this company on inventory control. That they have, not only computer-wise, they are on it like a hawk in the movement of product, okay? And logistically moving in different parts of the world. Because we have different fulfillment houses in different parts of the world that would fulfill these products. So as far as production is concerned, that was my first question when I first got involved with Troy and Daniel, was like saying, we could move product. Can you guys make sure you meet the demand? And the answer is absolute yes. And so now, obviously that absolute yes, it depends on the quantity of volume. Let's say that if we were to go from here to become $10 billion a year, I think they need time to scale up. So it will be a good problem for them to have. So that will be a great management thing. But for now, we have ample inventory. So let's go make it happen. For now, I mean, I don't foresee us having. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I'll take a few and give it back to you. Thank you. So yes. For now, we don't have that issue. I mean, the company is running really, really good, and they actually, I asked the same question. I think from a manufacturing source is concerned, they got the angle covered, and I'm really proud of what Troy has done.
Especially after COVID, it was like there was other companies.
Supply chain and all that. Oh, yes, yeah. That was my concern too, because as of these products, but you know what? Let's sell them out. Well, it's also a good problem to have, okay? So, but that's something that maybe down the road we will probably. I mean, I'm sure they are monitoring our progress. So, but that's a great question.
I
yes.
can add a little bit. So,
Yeah,
so everybody knows, I was in just a small meeting when I was overseas with Daniel, and we talk about the manufacturing. So moving forward, the manufacturing cycle for the product will be every 2 to 3 months. Have a new batch of product. So just so everybody know, right? So that's a strategy they will use to, to prevent any shortages as we grow. And that's the thing, And over time, I think, in terms of contract manufacturing, the company only work with people who have the good manufacturing practice certification. Of course, all the manufacturers done in the US, those are all FDA approved facilities. Some of them, I think some or all of them are NSF approved. So those are, if you were not on the Zoom when I was on with me and Linda McCormick a couple weeks ago, she's used to be vice president of global affairs for Big Pharma. So she knows all this. So I was grilling her on this. And just so you know, and after the Zoom, I was so happy just to solidify my belief in terms of the sourcing, who's manufacturing, where it comes from. And the other thing is, I have never seen a company where they give you all this clinical data. So, as you go out, if you need ammo for, is it a solid business? Okay, from a product standpoint, I'm just saying from a product standpoint, try to print out all the dossier and all the clinical studies. And you put this little book together about this thick, right? And that's the product. I mean, I truly believe, that having seen, and all of you, many of you, know that the efficacy of the product is extremely high, right? Like my shoulder at 55, I can play my volleyball again, right? It's crazy, right? So, so that's how the company will meet it, over time, okay?
Very good.
All right.
Yes, the gentleman over here.
Christopher's from Malaysia.
Yeah. All
Malaysia,
right.
Singapore.
Thank you. One thing I want to say, I just feel blessed to be here with Rudy. It's definitely found my tribe amongst here. I just turned 3-star. I still love the product so much. I kind of lead with that too much. And I know in the Black Crow group, I've probably had the least opportunity shares for the time in there, but I was able to rank up. What advice can you give to calm the business side, to lead an approach with the business side? Because you did a Zoom in March when you were over in Thailand or one in Asia, and you met a lady at the spa, and you gave her very little, and got her to travel hours to come. So I'm curious how to do that switch.
Okay, very good. Okay, so that's a business question. That's excellent. The question's leading by, the Revive's working now. Thank you. What's your name, ma'am? Thank you for the Revive. Denise, thank you so very much. All right, so let's now get on business. Okay, there we go. All right, so business side. That's what I want to talk about. So any other question before I talk about business? All right, talk about business. Business. All right, business. All right, I'm gonna push it back.
Okay.
Because I don't want to fall off stage. All right. Okay. Let's talk about business.
Okay.
All right, Samson, you want to sit down now? Yeah. Thank you, Samson. Give Samson a big round of applause. Wow, the Revive really did help. Okay, my knee's working. I can break dance now. All right. So, okay, business. I always lead. Okay, I think this is really helpful. I want to look at time. I'm mindful of the time. Okay, good, 30 minutes. Okay, so leading with a business. I've always, 31 years, I've always led with a business, and I'll tell you why. And I'm gonna kind of dissect a little psychology of why most people lead with product versus business, okay? Because people feel it's much easier, superficial, not superficial, the top layer of meeting one another. The products people can touch and feel. So people have a lot more comfort level to talk about the product because it's something that you could talk about. But when you talk about the business, there's the unknown part. What's the unknown part? Are you getting success? Like in your own, we are our own hardest judge. We judge our own successes, right? So does it really work? So when you're talking to people about dreams and having a business opportunity, there's an unknown part in one part of our brain that says it's unknown. So for most people, it's uncomfortable to talk about that which is unknown, because you might not have the confidence to know that without a shadow of doubt that this is a business that can change your life. So, and that will take time to hone in to owning your why and living your why. So that's why a lot of people like to talk about product. Now, sometimes when you met somebody that maybe you see them, they're dealing with aches and pains and aches and joints, then I could see why you will bring out the product, because that is something that a common topic that just surface up. You see them aching, paining, or they have some issue, then you can bring out products. But other than that, I always lead with opportunity. And so the art of leading into opportunity, you know what the art is? It's not for you to talk about the opportunity. It's for you to ask questions about what they're doing. The lady in Taiwan, I was at the spa. She was working on me. I talked nothing about 3. She goes, what brings you here? Oh, I said, I'm here for business. And I think about, so what business? Oh, I'm just meeting some friends of a business. And that was it. I don't want to go into it. And so then when she was working on me, I asked her a question. I said, how long have you been doing this? You work right here? She goes, no, actually I own a spa down the street, down the hills, to the mountain. I own a spa there. I said, oh, how come you are here? Well, I can't find staff, I said, well, the last couple of years, how did the pandemic affect your business? How did it? So I actually was talking to her. By the time I'm done with her, usually I don't like to talk, but because she was such a nice lady, and she told me her name is US dollar. That was her in direct translation. I just felt that this girl would be perfect in our business, And so then I talked nothing of 3. I just kept wanting to talk about her, because I need to find what the pinpoint is. I need to find my connection, how I can bring out the opportunity. So I learned that, her husband, she got a young child, between a young child and a grown child, all this stuff. Her husband used to have a big business, but because of the pandemic, lost the business, now back to Taiwan, and no business. And therefore, she has to take on extra work, leaving her shop to go to the hotel to do massage. So I said, listen, remember I told you I was here for business? I said, I wasn't going to talk about it, but because you know what, you were so nice. I said, listen, if this is your chance to really earn US dollar. If you're really serious, come meet me in Taipei, which was like, I think it was a 2-hour, my Taiwanese friend would tell me it's a 2-hour drive or whatever. And so she came. Why? Because I spend time to get to know her. What is her why? What is her pinpoint? What is something that make her, you're gonna find out what do they want before you offer them something. So to answer your question, it was, I always, when I talk to somebody, I don't go 3 right away. I don't offer 3, nothing. I wanna find out what is it that they're going through in their life. What is it they're looking for? What is it they're seeking? Is there something that you're looking for? Is there something you feel more fulfilling? Have you ever wanted more in life? Find out all this information, then how you bring out the opportunity will come natural. Instead of you pitching it, instead of you presenting it, you invite them to an opportunity showcase, or global showcase, or one-on-one with your sponsor. That's what I do. I will always, and I'll tell you why I lead in with the business opportunity. Because if you lead in with the business opportunity, when they say no to the business, but at least they will try the product. Like Janet, your friend says they want to try the product. Awesome. Who knows? Maybe they get on the product, they go onto a Zoom, they go, oh, I really like the culture of this company. And then maybe they join later. Who knows, right? So that's what I lead in. If you lead in with product, They say, no, my doctor told me not to take any supplements. You just lost a customer and a prospect, right? But if you approach with a business, when they say no to the business, you could still get them as a customer. So that's why the logic of why I approach that way. So the one I would build is I build and I lead in with a business opportunity. I always have. Because the side benefit is they can become a customer. That's a side benefit, okay? Good enough on that. So now let me talk about the business side, okay? I brought my tools with me, okay? So now, how many of you have been in the business for a year or longer with us, a year or more? Show of hands. Okay, very good. Now, I want you to think about when at the day one of your business, day one, maybe perhaps something got sparked in you. That, oh, I saw hope, I saw opportunity. You had a vision of doing, manifesting the abundance, whatever the abundance might be, great health, money, whatever that might be. You had a vision of that. And where you are a year later, you are not there. How many of you are from when you joined day one, and where you are here? I think Samson, your mic is on. So when you are, thank goodness he's not in the bathroom. Because it did happen to me one time. I had a lavalier on, and you should see that worker dashing to the bathroom. Okay, so now, so where you want to go, where you envision yourself to be, and where you are. How many of you feel that there's a little stretch there, right now where you are, okay? So, and I'll tell you why. And I'm going to show you a roadmap how to bridge that gap. And this is something that I realized, after 31 years. I have done a lot of, my days are filled with Zooms and 30-minute sessions, boom, 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 boom. And what I realized from being in the trenches, meeting people, talking to people, working with people, you can only get that when you're in the trenches working, okay? After all that, I realized that there is a gap. When people, they saw something, they went to a convention, they first joined the opportunity, then they begin to, the spark, begin to fly around, oh my gosh, maybe this is something for me. They begin to, some of the, part of them become lit up. And then when they start working it, they are not getting where they are. Some will quit, thank God you didn't quit because you're here. Some will quit, some will dabbling along. It's missing that. And what we're here to talk about today is that gap to go from where you are to where you want to go. And sometimes where you want to go, it will take some time. But let's get some measurable steps. Setting goals and getting a roadmap how to get there. How many want to do that? So there are different ways you can do that depending on your situation, okay? So I'm going to do with several different cases. If you want to volunteer, we will select you. But so here's what it is. There are different cases. One case being you are brand new in the business. You have nobody working, okay? You're brand new. So we're going to set some goals, and I'm going to show you how to do that. That's number one. And the other one would be you are semi-brand new, okay? You have some people working in your business, and you also, over time, over the last year, you've accumulated and banked some points in one side of your group, one side of your team. You have bank points, and you might have one or two people working. So that's the second scenario. The third scenario will be you are a leader. You already got people working. You already got a team of people working. People are moving. They're independent. They're all plugging in the system. So there's three different kind of groups of people we're working with. Depending where you are, we do different roadmaps. But it's important to understand where we are. As you progress in this journey, it is a journey. Ultimately, you get to where you are, you get a ton of people, leaders working in the business, so that it's almost like on autopilot, okay? You are just reaping in the rewards of the business. So with that, let's get started. How many people right now have no bank points, have no point banked? Do you understand what I mean by bank point? Okay, good. What's your name, sir, from Sedona? Francis, okay. So let's say that this is Francis, okay? Now everybody, this is a binary, okay? This is not a comp plan training, but this is a business strategy roadmap to your business, okay? So Francis right here. So this is Francis, okay? Now, Francis, everybody has a left-sided team and the right-sided team. So bank point means, how many of you understand what bank point means? Points banked. Okay. So let's just say that either when the company does a promotion with a power up promotion, then you have those called bank points. Those points, the power ups are never flush. To me, it's better than money in the bank because they never flush and no bank run. So those are called bank points. Or the other side would be that you came in, that your sponsor is beginning to sponsor people, they're putting people underneath you in your organization. So that's accumulating, that's called bank point. Those bank points will someday turn into money when you work the business, okay? So Francis, you're new, right? You're new, okay, so you have nothing on the left, nothing on the right. Okay, so that's one category we're gonna work with. Now, how many of you have bank points? Okay, good. Those of you that have bank point, over there, who has bank point? Okay, the gentleman raised his hand. What's your name, sir? With a hat.
Okay, what's the question?
What's your name?
Rich.
Rich. Oh, you are rich. All right, good. Get in there, okay, Rich? The right name. Okay, Rich. Okay. Now, your bank point is on the right leg or the left leg?
Right.
Your right leg. Okay. So you have points here. Okay, numbers. Okay, you have points here. On the right leg, you have points here. Okay. Do you have anybody on your other side working?
Yes.
Oh, good, Rich. Okay, how many people you're working?
2.
Two. Okay. Give me their two names.
Diane
Uh-huh.
and Miguel.
Miguel. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now, so who else has a team of people working? That you have a team of people working. You have. Well, those will have a discussion with the leaders later, because that's the leadership training, okay? So let's work with these two scenarios, which is very common, okay? So now, Francis, is it okay if we use you as an example?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So Francis, give me why did you join 3? Well, did something spark in you? Was it the dream got like sparked up?
It's the community.
Oh. Okay, it's a community. Okay, would you elaborate a little bit more about that, the community?
I work best when I work with people. And I enjoy sharing myself with people. And I believe in this product, and I started using it, and I felt the change within a week within my body.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So from the business standpoint, Francis, that's beautiful sharing, thank you. From a business standpoint, is there something you want to achieve here in 3?
Yes. I'd like to make money.
All right, love it. Straightforward, okay. Okay, good. Now, is there did you ever have a childhood dream or when you were younger or in college, whatever, when you're still a young man, okay? So what would be something that you go, you know what, that's a great dream to have, and I'd like to live that dream. What would that be?
The dream of being independent, of being responsible and knowing who I was and living my life that way and being able to do whatever I wanted.
Beautiful. Now, so from a finance standpoint, how much money would that take for you to live that?
$1 million would be beautiful.
Okay, $1 million would be beautiful. Okay, excellent. Okay, now, so $1 million, that will be what most people aspire to have, $1 million in the bank, right? So hopefully we diversify and not put all in the bank these days, right? So now, so $1 million, just financial abundance, right? So where we are here, maybe there's a stretch. So how do we go about to climb this Mount Everest, seemingly to be into $1 million? So let's get some measurable things from now where you are. So now we are August when? What day are we in? 15? 15. So Francis, how much money would you like to say, you know what, let's just say in 4 weeks, by September 15th. How much money would you like to make, say, you know what, I'm making progress, that you feel like, you know what, I'm making progress? How much money would you say that would be for you?
$3,000 a month.
Okay, $3,000 a month. So we're gonna show that. Okay, so Francis, now again, this is a training. Please do not misconstrue. There's no guarantee of income in any form, shape, or way. But this is a training. Okay, so I just have to throw this disclaimer out there. All right, now so $3,000 a month. That what Francis will make in by when? So let's set a date. By September when? 15th. Right? 4 weeks, okay? We're gonna own it. We're gonna own it. I'm gonna show you a roadmap how to do it. A lot of people want the money, but they don't have a clear roadmap how to get there. And when they got challenged, they got us on the wrong side of the track. So we're gonna show you a roadmap how to get there. So 3,000 in 4 weeks, okay? Now, because Francis has nobody working, have you sponsored anyone yet, Francis?
No.
No, okay. So Francis, so thank you, Francis. I'm gonna now go over the roadmap with Francis. Francis has nobody working yet. He's brand new, has no point. So it would be a moot point to talk about cycle because he's not there yet. So what is something that you can count on to make the $3,000? The PIB, the PIP, right? PIP stands for Product Introductory Bonus, okay? So now the PIB, I always go with founder because this is, the founders is, once people truly understand the power behind the founder, you get to share. We're a little tiny company. First year did 65 million. It's not tiny, but tiny in our eyes. Because when you've done $1 billion a year, 65 million is very tiny, okay? So, but to many companies, first year 65 is huge. But can you imagine when we become, I don't know, 5 billion, 10 billion, you get to share, participate in the global pool as a founder. It's incredible. So I always base on founder, okay? Now, so what is a PIP on founder? 350. So if you are the sponsor, if I'm the sponsor of Francis, I need to guide him, show him a roadmap how to get to 3,000. His goal is $1 million, right? Okay? But right now, let's get these measurable steps to climb to that. Because from here to there is a little bit of a hike. But right here, it's doable. Okay? So let's show Francis what he needs to do in 4 weeks to make $3,000. So now, Francis, you have a phone? You have a calculator, a phone on you?
Yes.
Okay, let's get your phone out. And those of you that have it, you do the same thing because I'm going to show you something that is just so incredible. It's a learning. With your own energy, and pull out your calculator. The last thing I did was someone that wanted to make 180,000. So that's why 180,000 is there. Okay, now I'm going to clear that, do 3,000. Okay, all right. So we all got this clear, right? So you get your calculator. So if you want to make and then you want to apply to your own self, in your own circumstances. So if you want to make $3,000, so I want you to punch in $3,000, that's the amount you want to make by September 15, right, Francis?
Yes.
Okay, so you punch it in, because when your own energy punches in this gadget right here, and this gadget display digitally to you, the LED display to you, when you have your own physicality putting in your energy, and it displays, sends it out to you, it creates something. That learning, it creates visual, audio, and physical. It creates something in you. So $3,000, now the PIP, each PIP is how much? 350. So that divided by 350. That means 8.5. Let's round it up. 9. So that means in 4 weeks, if Francis can sponsor 9 founders, in 4 weeks, you can achieve the $3,000 and then some. Because once you achieve the 3,000, I didn't even calculate the cycles. That's extra gravy. So 9 people. We said, whoa, it's a whole lot of people. Well, we can always adjust. If 3,000 is too much, let's go to 2,000. But if 3,000 is not enough, you want to do more? Let's do more, okay? So 9 people, to sponsor 9 people in 4 weeks. Maybe Francis has to talk to maybe 20 to 30 people. So let's just Francis has to talk to 30 people. The thing is, don't get attached to when you're talking to people. Don't get attached to the results. This is the thing. So, Francis, if you're willing to talk to 30 people in 4 weeks, that's like 1 a day for 30 days. So if you want to take Saturday and Sunday off, do 2 people a day, okay? So connect, share with 2 people a day. Don't get attached because this is, when we talk about numbers game, it's truly a numbers game. If you're willing to talk to, at least you know what, 1 to 2 people a day. 1 to 2 people a day. 1 to 2 people a day. You will hit that. You will. And you know what's so beautiful about it? When you make your $3,000 Francis, you know what? It's the best training you can ever do as a sponsor to your team is to help them make their first check. I guarantee you, Francis, when you get your first check, $1,000 that week, you're like, yo, this is real. It's doable. It's progress. You know what makes people excited? It's not achieving those big goals. When you're making progress in life, You know, the fact that I'm putting in my tennis shoes, I put on my yoga pants, like all my hiking pants, I feel good already. Even though I haven't gone on trail, I feel like I'm making progress. Are you guys with me so far? So you gotta do the progress. So that roadmap, you now have a clarity. I, Francis, have talked to 30 people in the next 4 weeks. Don't get attached to results. You will find the 9. You will sponsor the 9. And you are not working alone. You have Angela, you have Gary Warren, you have all these people to work with you. So the thing I do with this, I say, if you're willing to talk to 30 people, I am willing to help you to get your $3,000. Put the people in front of me, do the 3-way. Again, you gotta learn, and then we're gonna teach them how to talk to people. The 30 people you talk to, what's happening with your life, how are you doing? But don't just put 3 out right away. But you gotta be willing to go through that number. And why do I say that? I want your picture, don't get attached to the thing. It's often said that this is a numbers game. Everything's a numbers game. I remember back in the days, I used my first network marketing company was a company that we switched people's telephone lines. You know, back in the days before the deregulation in America, there was AT&T, and AT&T, right? When in the 80s, the deregulation happened, there was MCI and Sprint, right? Do you remember those days? So the company I was with, we were switching people from AT&T, MCI, to our company. And so when they say it's a numbers game, I didn't believe it. So and back in those days, you know, when a team member you sponsor, they couldn't get customers, we didn't get paid. So we got really good at going out there and getting customers for our team members. And so when it's a numbers game, it's truly a numbers game. So we were, as a matter of fact, Ken is with me here. 30 years ago, we were friends, it's been 30 years. And by the way, Janet, talk about to know the people. If you know people that have friends for 20, 30 years, that means they're a pretty sound individual, that they're still with you as a friend for 30 years. But anyway, so we were he was in Hawaii at that time, so we went to the park to get customers. You know, it's a complete total numbers game. When you're trying to switch people, the first 10, it's like if you're willing to go to 100, you're bound to get 20 customers. But you don't know when the 20 will come. You just don't know. Maybe the first yes will come 50 people later. To some other people, maybe the first yes will be 10 people later. You just don't know. And I think the best way to illustrate it, I brought my tools, is a deck of cards. Okay, in a deck of cards, how many jokers are there? 2. How many aces are there? 4. So if, let's say that you are out looking for aces. Life shuffles however it is. However we are, however you are, whatever lives we live up to this point, is whatever that is. So when you shuffle, a deck of cards, if your goal is to get 4 aces out of this deck, I don't know when it's gonna hit. You just have to keep flipping it. I flip this, 8, 7. So I'm gonna do this, 6, geez, 5, no. So how many cards have been? It's been many cards. Oh, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Number 8, I got an ace. Okay, I still count in Chinese, okay? I got 8. Okay, now you continue flipping. Joker, so no. Oh, another ace, okay? So these aces come pretty quickly. But sometimes I have to flip 20 cards before my next ace. Now I'm cheat now, okay? Like boom, 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 boom. Oh, another 15, 1. So boom, 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 boom. Another 30, 40. You just don't know when it's gonna hit. So understand something. As you are sorting, as you're out talking to people, you just don't know when your ace is gonna pop. Do you need a lot of aces? No, you don't. There's a saying in our business, you are 1 person away from explosion. 1. How many of you wouldn't mind talking to 100 people and you found a Lisa Holoboski? Will you go through 100 people? You say, heck yes. Will you go through 500 people to find a Holly DeMont? Yes. Will you go through 1,000 people to find an Amy Dunlap? Yes. Will you go through 1,000 people to find a Samson Lee? Yes. Question is, are you willing to go through the numbers? When I first met Samson, he's not in this $100,000 watch. He was not in this expensive suit. He was driving a Honda. Nothing wrong with Honda. You know, I didn't have a car when I first started. I'm going to tell you the story to wrap it up at the end. But I want to say this, is this. That your ace may not come in a form and shape that you expected it. Sometimes they will come in a form and shape that you go, sometimes, you know, you talk to somebody, go, oh my goodness, if he or she join me, I'm gonna be rich, because they'd be so good. And then when they join you, they go, you know what, watch out, I'm gonna make you a lot of money. And then a week later, they disappeared. They won't even return your call. And then you meet somebody who's very shy, who might not know, like I was 30 years ago, I was an accountant. Who? You just don't know. But are you willing to not get attached? Just flip, it's a numbers game. You might, you know, your first ace, you might have to flip like, I don't know, 50 cards to get your first one. Who knows? Well, mathematically, it doesn't work out like that. But you know what I mean. You will have to flip. You just don't know when your card will come. And you don't need 4 aces. If you know, Samson's sponsor in the other company, his sponsor made over $1 million a year by finding Samson, just on match alone. Match alone. This comp plan, if people truly are from this space, they look at our comp plan, they won't be able to sleep. Now keep in mind, there's some people that claim they're from this space. They go, oh, this comp plan, no. They are not from this space. Or if they are, they haven't made the money that this space truly can offer. If they haven't made $1 million a month, we'll talk later. So here's the thing. You are willing to go through the number. So that number, one person away, always remember, one person away from explosion. And the reason why I brought this ladder is this. See, I went to Amazon. My son goes, Mom, what's wrong with you these days? You buy this superhero, you buy this ladder, you buy these cards. So here's the thing. A ladder, if you want to climb a ladder, what does a ladder have to lean against? A wall, to lean against something solid. So for Francis, this $3,000, that's his goal. So you need to have a goal. Then the ladder is the roadmap to get here. So this one had to lean against something. I need a much taller ladder for this. So right here was lean against here. So now we just gave a roadmap to Francis. If you really want to make $3,000, that's what it takes. People, is there any other way? That's the way. Well, is there any other way? That is the way. You can find a different way talking to your people, but that's the way. So what I've just done is giving him a roadmap how to get there. And then you as a sponsor, work with him. How are you doing? How are you doing with your list? Let's get on the list. And then coach Francis. Francis, give me the background of these people. Let's kind of curate a message, how to approach those people. So what am I doing? I've now given Francis a ladder, a roadmap. But you gotta have something to lean against. If there's nothing, you can lean against. So you gotta have a goal. So all of you, I hope that you do that. And so you will do the same thing. This, for those of you, that's a category 3 that I didn't put up here. If you're a leader, you have people on your team, you can guide them doing this. So now let's work on, so Francis, does it help you?
Very much.
Okay, so you go home. I'm sorry, I didn't talk like that. Okay, so you go home and you do your own thing with your own numbers. Okay, now some of you might be a mix between the two. You have bank volume, okay? When the company does, whenever they do power up volume, if financially you can afford it, I will buy it. Because if you're gonna work the business, I will buy it. If you don't work it, don't buy it. But it's not really by the bank volume, you're actually getting the product, right? So get it, because it will pay you a lot more than what you put in the bank. And these days, you have money in the bank, my God, when my CPA tells me, hey, Kim, you got 93 cents of interest, I say, you're kidding me. That's more than $500,000 liquor sitting over there, 93 cents. I need to change bank. You know, so this pays a lot more, okay? So now, but you gotta work it, okay? So let's come back to this. So if the company has PowerPoint and you're gonna work the business, buy it, and you get the product anyway, okay? So now in the situation, Rich. Now, I mean, I don't want to put you in the spot, but you don't have to answer it, and if you don't want to answer, I will make up the answer, okay? So, all right, so Rich, are you cycling like 10 cycles every 4 weeks at least?
No.
Okay, all right, so I get the answer I'm looking for, so that means you've got people, but these people maybe lack a roadmap. Because if you got people working, these are what's called on your pay leg, right? Because you got a leg going, so these are on your pay leg. So if you, in 4 weeks, if you're not doing 10 cycles, That means these people, what they want, a little far-fetched, they don't know. They lack this to lean against. Because if you have people working, you should be at 5, 10 cycles a week. That means somebody in your pay leg is bringing in volume for you to cycle, okay? So now let's talk about you first, and then let's help Diane and help Miguel, okay? Is Miguel and Diane in the room?
No.
Okay, good, okay, so. Okay, if this is all right, recording, please cut this part off, okay? All right, so now, so Rich, tell me, what would you like to hit by September 15th?
100 cycles a month.
100 cycles a month, okay? I will show you the number. Numbers don't lie. Numbers are perfect. People are not. But 100 cycles a month by September 15th. Okay. I will show you. If you're willing to stick to it, you'll get it. Numbers are there. Roadmaps are there, okay? So now, Rich want to be 100 cycles a month. Okay, now how much is are you happy 10? Rich?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're happy 10, you're getting how much is per cycle? $45, okay? So 45, that's 4,500. So did you want to hit 4,500 by September 15th?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, I saw that body language. When you say, even though it's so far away, when you say, yup, your mouth tilt a little bit. That means you don't have that confidence, which is okay. I'm not picking on you. This business, you learn so much. Human physique, you get to see so much body language. So we are all, as a family, this is a working session. So I would suggest is that forget about where it's gonna come from. If you wanna make 4,500 or 5,000, then you own it. Absolutely say, do you wanna make 5,000? Yes, I do. That's saying yes. When you say yes, it's not to me. You're saying yes to your dream. You're saying yes to your life. You're saying yes to the universe. You want to manifest what you want. So when you say yes, the universe sometimes waiting for that order. Rich, give me the order. I will deliver it. So not me. Okay? So, Rich, do you believe, do you want to make 4,500 September 15th?
I do.
All right, awesome. See the difference? Body, voice, tonality. Yes, I do. That's called resolve. You resolve. Why corporation? They have a resolution, resolve. You just resolve that you want to make that money. Now, I'm going to show you different ways to get there, but that's, if you are bank, so he wants to make 100 cycles, because that's how you measure the 4,500. But there's different ways that you can get to the 4,500 or 5,000, whatever that is, that speaks to you. Okay, so you're saying Diane and Miguel are working. Describe, this is very interesting. When you work with your team, describe working to me. Like, are they plugging in? Are they talking to people? What is working?
They are plugging into the systems on the
Zoom calls.
3 Zoom calls.
Yes.
3 times a week.
Okay.
They are reaching out to other people on occasion.
Uh-huh.
And setting. I very rarely need a microphone.
That's fine.
Mom said I had a big mouth. So they are on occasion. They're plugged into the system,
Okay.
listening to the information,
Yes.
and growing mentally.
Okay.
They have set goals for themselves on what it is that they want to do, but they are.
It's not getting a result yet.
It's not with the consistency that I know that they need,
Okay.
and I'm trying to help them to get towards that consistency.
Okay, got it. So you know the best way to help them? You achieve it. You do it, and then you show the way.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So now, that
Yes,
being
I
said,
can.
yes, you can absolutely can, and you will. Okay. So now, these are people that are active. So you're gonna show them how to, whatever their goals. You give them a roadmap how to get there. So that will help contribute to the cycle. So now let's do. You have a calculator, Rich?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, let's get it out.
Yes, I can.
All right, excellent. You're gonna need 5 miles, Rich. All right, okay. So let's calculate this. 100 cycles. And you've got bank points already, right? So you need to focus on driving your pay like so that you can,
Affirmative.
okay, all right. So 100 cycles, how many points do you need to get a cycle, Rich?
300.
Good, okay. So I want you to do 100 cycles, that's what you want, times 300 points. Okay? Per cycle, right? So how many points do you need in your pay like?
30,000.
30,000. Now, each founder, how many points is there immediately you get? Each founder?
700?
740.
740.
Right? Okay, so these are numbers like, okay, I want you to know this. Okay, if you are a restaurant owner or you are a retail store owner, you gotta know the price you're selling. That's your business. You gotta monitor, like that's how I'm a business person. Like this is a business. This can be a little tiny business. This can be a multi-million-dollar business, depending on how you look at it. So if you gotta know your inflow and outflow. So when I run my business, I know my business. So founder, you gotta, okay, 740 points. That's how you gotta, okay, so you need to have 30,000 points in your pay like, and each founder will contribute 740 points, right? So now 30,000 points divided by 740. Okay? That means you need 40.5. You need 41 founders in your pay leg to come in. Okay? Now, 41 founders might sound a whole lot to be done by one person. But because you have people working, maybe between Diane and Miguel, if you show them the roadmap, like here, like Francis, if Francis wanna make $3,000, Francis is sponsor 9. So if Diane wants to make $3,000 or $2,000, maybe they do 9 and 9, that's 18 over here. Right? So these are how business strategy, that's how you strategize your business, right? So let's just say, for sake of calculation, let's just say Diane can contribute 5. Diane 5, right? And Miguel 5, okay? So now you have to do, so it's 10, you have to do 31 founders. Well, 31 founders might sound a whole lot, but when you frontline, when you personally, if let's say you have nobody else working in your pay leg, unless there's somebody in your pay leg right here, besides Diane and Miguel, there's other people that you're gonna show them a ladder. You're gonna show them a roadmap how to get to it. I don't care, maybe, some family, they say, if you show me how to make $1,000, I'm happy. Well, show them how to make 1,000, because that's contributing to your number of founders, right? Yes. Activity. So you show them a little roadmap. Somebody wanna make 500, somebody wanna make 1,000, somebody wanna make 2,000, whatever that might be. If you show it to them, they got a goal. They have to have a goal because the ladder have to have something to lean against. This one, you can't climb. It's not, so you got to show them the roadmap. So now 31 sound a whole lot. But if you have other people that you're working with that can contribute, if not, depends how bad you want this 100 cycle. So let's just say that from your existing group, you're going to have 10 new founders. Now, keep in mind, this convention, we're gonna have new products, we're gonna have promotions. I'm not counting that, but if you count all that, that may be a lot easier, okay? So let's just look at this way. If you can count, let's say 10 from your team. So 10 founder, okay, times 740 CV, right? So let's calculate that. What is 10 times 740?
7,400.
Okay, that divided by 300 per cycle, right? So how many cycles is that? So that's about 26, okay?
24.6,
So let's say 26, okay? So now, Rich, the goal was 100 cycle. Now you got 26 cycles from the team, right? So you are now still 74 cycles short, which is about 31 founder. Now let's pivot, because we're a business person. Because you can make money different ways, right?
Yes.
So now you got 26 times 45, how much is that?
1170.
Okay, so you are now 1170 into your goal of 4,500, right? So let's say how much which is short. So 4,500, I should do it this way. Okay. 5, 3, what is it? 4, no, 4, 2, 3. Am I right? So about 3,300. Okay? So you are 3,300 short from your goal. What would you do? Then you would pivot to PIP. Because you can count 10 from here. Now let's pivot to PIP. So if Rich is very similar to Francis, because instead of banking and waiting for your team to move, you move. Right. It's been said that the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. When I first brought in people, they go, Kim, I'm gonna do this, and then nobody's moving. I said, fine, you're not moving, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna find other groups that will move, and I'll spend my time there.
Amen.
So that's what you would do. If they're not moving, Rich, you move. You're gonna show them how to do it, okay? So Rich need to make 3,300, right? So that divided by, what is the PIP for founder? 350. So that's about what? 9.5, about 10. So Rich, if you sponsor 10 people, because see how you know, because you gotta know your business. When you know you got 2 people working, and you gotta know how many people they can bring in, then you know how to work out your number. You need to have a target. I need to make $5 grand. I need to make $5 grand to feed my family. I need to make $5 grand to put in college fund. I need to make $5 grand for whatever reason. You need to make $5 grand. You work out your number. So you need to do 10 founders. So 10 founders in 4 weeks. 10 founders in 4 weeks, that means you talk to 1 person a day. You know, when I first got laid off in this industry, I don't go home until I talk to at least 3 to 5 people. I used to carry, actually, there are days I talk to like 10 people. I used to carry Chinese will have red beans, and here you have mung beans or green beans or whatever. I will put 10 beans here, and I talk to somebody, I put 1 bean on this side. I will not go home until I empty my beans. To keep myself on track, because I have.
When you say talk to, do you mean that you're sharing the whole opportunity?
No, I connect. I connect. The connect and there's different, right? I pick interest, I connect, and I get their number, and I put it in my pipeline. So you are either connecting, at the same time you're either connecting, and then you're also plugging into the next thing. I never present on the spot. I've seen people, they were soaking in a hot tub, they're enjoying themselves, and then they start a conversation, and then they got excited, they go, oh, let's get out of the hot tub, let's talk. When you do that, people go, you're too hard sell. You're trying to sell people. So you connect with them, say, listen, let's connect later. You know what, let's enjoy, and we'll have a conversation later. So I will my pipelines are constantly built. So if your pipeline is empty, build it. Fill the pipeline. When you 10 beans here, pop over here, you're building your pipeline every day. So let's just say that if you're not, when your pipeline is full, you're gonna have a lot of closing. But until you build your pipeline, you're not gonna have people to close. You gotta build your pipeline first, okay? So if you're willing to go through that, you get your 10 founders. Are you willing to do it? I mean, we got people. Give Rich a big round of applause. I love it. Rich, what part of country are you from?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, all right, baby. Oh, Wisconsin, okay. All right, so good. So, Rich, when you sponsor 10 founder, you will make 3,500, right? Now, on top of that, because the 10 founder you sponsor is gonna be right here, right? So 10 founder times 740, how much is that?
7,400.
And that is another 26 cycles. That's gravy, that's extra. Are you with me?
Yes.
So you got right here 10 founder from Diane and Miguel on your whole group, right? So that brought you whatever money that was. That brought you, how much was that? 11? That brought you this, right? That brought you, let's say 1,200, okay? When you do this, you sponsor 10 founder. In addition to your PIB, you also gonna get 1,200 in cycles. Are you with me? So plus your PIB, 3,500. Let's add it up, baby. $5,900. If the price is right, that's right. So $5,900. Numbers don't lie. People say, I want to make 10 grand. I'll show you. Will you do it? Will you walk it? I don't know. But the good thing is if the number's too high, you can always adjust it. If the number's too low, as you work it, you can always up it. You can always up it, have goals that's achievable. Now, you now know this, then you're gonna work with Diane. Diane, let me help you. You came in here because you saw something. How much money would you like me to help you put in your pocket in 4 weeks? Whatever the number is, you as a sponsor, show her the roadmap. She gonna give you the number, whatever the number is, that number, her number, give her the roadmap so she can lean against here, and then show her how to do it. Let's do this. Diane, let's get it done. Miguel, let's get it done. So my session on this is 30 minutes max. Especially people that don't have a whole lot of team, it's very easy. You show them, you calculate them. And you know what's beautiful? When you actually show them the roadmap, you are teaching them the comp plan. Is that how it works? So with people that are brand new, working on, like, let's say Francis, he has nobody on the left, nobody on the right, and no volume yet. For me to talk about cycle is a waste of breath. Because when we talk about cycle, you're gonna have people coming in. When there's nobody coming in, let's start building the foundation. Let's build that up first, okay? And finally, I wanna say this. And does it help you, Rich?
Yes, it
okay,
does.
all right. So, guys, does it help you guys? Does it bring you clarity?
Yes.
I want you to really do this. 31 years in the trenches is what we do. You sit down with people. I will be traveling from country to country. And by the way, after convention, we're done here. I go to Sedona for field days, and then on the 25th of August, I'll be living in a hotel, hopping from hotel to hotel, and I won't come home until September 24th. I'll be hopping different countries, doing things like this. That is in the trenches. You talk about, and I want to teach that so you can duplicate it. How we become, the company does not magically, boom, become a $10 billion company. It takes hundreds, thousands of loyal people, dedicated, people that are driven, that are willing to go to work day in and day out to make things happen. You watch us, we are 18 months into the game. You watch us, this is beautiful what you're seeing, but you have no idea. There are hundreds of tireless leaders, every day in, day out, planning events, what to say, all this stuff, posting, all the announcement. There are people, our feet, sometimes you look at us, we're like ducks in a pond. Ducks on the surface going, but what's a duck doing? Be under the water, the feet is always doing this. We are all doing this. But knowing that we're doing all this together, it makes a world of difference. So to help sum it all up, if you would imagine an assembly line, okay, and if I'm going to describe something that you just don't take it out of context, but take it in the context of me trying to deliver this concept of the pipeline, okay? So let's say, for example, you own a manufacturing facility, okay? You manufacture toys. Let's say you manufacture Barbie, okay? Is Barbie still in? Yeah. Barbie and Ken? Okay, so let's say you have an assembly line that manufacture Barbie and Ken. So what do you first need? You need to have raw material. You need to have the body. You need to have the hair. You need to have whatever gadget, whatever things Ken and Barbie are wearing. You need to have all those stuff. So what's all that stuff? That's a pipeline. That's inventory. You need to have all those stuff. So when it goes to the pipeline, the machine will put in a hair, an arm, a leg, a shoe, whatever. So that you're going to fill that pipeline to produce that. So your production, when you don't have stuff in the pipeline, the end result, you are not going to have a Barbie or a Ken. Are you with me so far? You're going to have the pipeline fill in order for you to have the end result. So the other example I want to talk about is this. I want you to take a picture if you own a farm, okay? And your farm is to produce, you have an egg farm. You sell eggs, okay? So if in your farm, you have 100 chicken, and the 100 chicken produce only 1 egg a day. Well, I don't know, I'm not a farmer, so I don't know, can egg produce 1 egg a day? I don't know, but let's assume it can, okay? So your egg, your chicken produces 1 egg a day, and you have 100 chicken. How many eggs do you get a day from your farm? You have 100 eggs to sell. But if your target to meet the expenses of your farm, the farm equipment, the water, feed, or the feed for the chicken, whatever, if you need to have 1,000 eggs a day, you only produce 100. What do you have to do? That's right. If these chickens have the capability to produce more, you can feed them more, nurture, I love you, produce more eggs. If they can still do that, but if these chickens have reached their maximum capacity of production, what do you have to do? Get some new chicken to meet your goal. So, I mean, that's a very simple way of explaining the concept to your business. The magic. The reason why we get to stay on stage and share all the story, because we have taken enough arrows. We have taken enough rejections. We have, whatever you all went through, we probably went through 10 times and then some. I mean, it's not like we go through that when we're trying days. Once you have big success, you have big money, no matter how kind you are, no matter how big you are, no matter how good you are, you still get arrows. Life. But you know what? When those things come, let it roll off of you. Don't carry it. I mean, think about this. Growing up, have you had parents, the most beautiful meaning parents, grandparents? They mean so well. But have they said things that hurt you? That you felt it kind of hurt you? I did growing up. My mom used to say, I'm lazy. And I'm like, why would you say that, Mom? Like, they call me lazy. Maybe that's why all these years I'm a hard worker. So, but the thing is this, when things come your way, if it does not resonate with your being of who you are, let it glide it off. Let it roll it off. It's not part of you. Whatever things, beliefs, conditioning, whatever has been told to you that no longer serve you, let it roll it off and tell yourself, I am a lot bigger and better than that. Will you do that? Yes. This country of the free, country of the brave, this is time we need to rise up. That's why this convention is called Rise Up. Are you willing to rise up for your dream? Yes. Are you willing to rise up for you, for who you are? Yes. This is about freedom, about liberation. You know, the ultimate journey is to get from fear, to embark on a journey to get from fear into freedom of living who you truly are. And how you see this and how you're making progress is with a new lens. When you come to events like this, convention like this, it's with a new understanding that we begin to change. We begin to shift. That's what life is all about too. That's why we're doing this. I live and breathe this. I saw a quote, and I close with this quote. It's by Khalil Gibran, I think it was. A quote goes like this. It says, work is love made visible. Work is love made visible. I want you to think about the work that you do. The reason we live and breathe this, because it's love. This is, I hope you see the leaders, the people that are working tirelessly. It's love made visible. And that is our work. So I hope that this breakout session has been meaningful to you, as it's been very meaningful to me to share. And go home and be willing to flip their cards. Be willing, you just don't know when the next one will come. The next one, your superstar, that Rich will come in, that will surprise you. Rich.
Yes,
Rich, I want to see you as a 7-star. You making your millions. Francis, you making your million. And more important than those millions and the stars is that we together, collectively, go out there and make a positive impact to humanity. Amen. Thank you very much. We'll see you again. Thank you. There will be leadership tonight from 6 to 8 with Daniel.